I'm a 27 handicap golfer and I have entered my first ever golf competition within less than a year of playing the sport. In 2 weeks' time, I'm going to be participating in my local golf club's Stableford competition. This is the first time I've ever entered a golf competition and I have got 2 weeks to prepare for it. Stay tuned to this video as I go through the process of getting myself ready for a Stableford competition.
That looks really good. That's so good. Yeah, oh, so good. So happy. If anything, I want to be going slight right edge. Oh, no.
In 2 weeks' time, I'm playing my first ever golf competition. The problem is, I'm a 27 handicap and I'm going to be playing alongside my friend who is a 9 handicap, and I don't want to let him down. So I am going to be focusing on the next 2 weeks to see if I can improve my golf game enough to not be an embarrassment to myself and to him as we go around and play in this competition. If you're new to the channel, I'm documenting the process of learning how to play golf through the coaching of ChatGPT. So what are my goals for this competition? I would like to score at least 32 Stableford points, 6 fairways in regulation, 4 greens in regulation. 2 weeks isn't a lot of time to be improving my golf game. I understand it takes a lot more effort than that. However, that's the only time I've got, so I've got to do what I can with the time that's given to me. My game in general is just inconsistent, but I think the main thing I can see improvements on in this short period of time is the consistency of my irons. At the moment, I'm losing most of my strokes through mishitting my irons, whether that's off the tee or when I'm on the fairway. So there's going to be a heavy focus in this time to see improvements in that part of my game. So I spoke to my trusted golf coach and I asked it what it can provide me in terms of drills I can do at home to help improve that part of my game. So I asked ChatGPT to give me some at-home drills I can work on. It does look kind of funny just swinging a club round in the garden, but I genuinely think that short term it might not do much. Long term, it might help me with the feel of just that swing. Okay, that's enough of that one. Always feels a bit silly just whacking thin air. It's really forcing me to stop lifting my heel up on the backswing, which is something I've started doing and I need to stop. So the next one is the chair drill. So it's basically asking me to keep contact with the chair throughout the swing. I don't really know why, and I'm not going to pretend to know why, but I'm just going to practice it. So here's me just swinging a club around. I've mentioned it before, but one of the things about GPT as a coach that I struggle with, it doesn't explain the reasons why I'm doing these drills. I'm kind of just doing it in blind faith and hoping that it works. However, I can't just focus on my irons. I've got to make sure that everything else is in check as well. So I'm doing a lot of putting drills as well. They're easy to do at home. So here I've set up a gate with 2 balls and I'm aiming to get the ball through that gate and then in towards the cup, which I've got at the end of the corridor here. One of the biggest issues I had with my driver previously was slicing it off to the right. And this drill has helped really stop that. So basically I have to step forward after I've hit the ball, and the whole point of it is to encourage me to get my hips round and therefore hopefully hit the ball straighter. And while it looks kind of weird, again without any context, I do find that it helps, and when I'm out on the course it's a good mental cue for me to remember to get those hips round. So back doing a little bit more putting practice. I think one of the downsides to putting at home is really getting a feel for pace. So I like to go out onto the practice green from time to time and work on my lag putting. So here I am just putting from about 15 feet out, and the goal really is just to get the ball to stop within 3 foot of the hole. After a while, I tend to get the hang of it, The first few are always a little bit crazy, but I generally dial it in as we go through. At my local golf club, we have a short par 3 course, which is 6 holes, all varying lengths of like 120, 130 down to like 60-yard holes. So it's really good for dialing in that short game, something that I really need to go out and practice on a little bit more. But I figured that it'd be worth just going through and seeing how I get on with this after doing a lot of drills.
Oh,
And generally it went pretty well. I found that while some of my shots off the tee weren't great, others were really good.
it's good pace. Turn. Oh,
This is the hardest hole on the short course.
that looks really good. That's so good.
It's a 135 yard onto an island green. So I was really, really happy here to hit such a good shot for my standards and get it on the green.
Oh no.
In the end, I went round with +3 from the 6 holes. So while not good for some, I'm very happy with that, and it's definitely a target to work towards beating as I continue with my practice. Okay, so I'm going to give myself 30 balls, chipping off here, and I have 10 attempts to chip into the bucket, and then I've got 10 attempts to chip out here, and then 10 to get it to land past this line here. So we're going to start with chipping into the first box. Just short. Yes, that's one. Oh, just a bit long. Nice, 2. 3. So the goal here is really just target practice of aiming for a point and getting it to bounce there. Yes, nice, that's another one. So what are we on 4 here? Yes, nice, another one. Ooh, just a little bit long. Nice. Yes, perfect. Okay, so next target is just to get it to land after that box. Just after. A little further. Oh, not first. Just a little bit too short. Yes, nice. That's 1. Yes, 2. 3. 4. 5. Really perfect. Really good. 3 more to go. Yes, 6. Slightly longer, count it. Last one. Nice, happy last. Okay, so the next one is into the bucket. I'm going to switch to my 60-degree wedge here. Line up. Grab the ball from my stance. My weight on my back foot. Just slightly long. Don't just do it. I do feel more comfortable. Same like that. Oh, in right hand, just the wrong length. Okay, don't do too much. We have to make it one again. Oh, that's good. Oh, handle. Oh, bad. Didn't just. Well, lost it. That's one. Yeah, I'm losing daylight here. But that was a good drill. I like doing that ever so often, just aiming for a target on the lawn and just chipping a little bit. I feel like it really does improve my aim when I get out on the course. So winter is here, the clocks have changed, so I can't go outside and practice on an evening. So what I've done is got myself a chipping mat and some indoor balls, and I'm going to practice some chipping inside, just a little bit of target practice, aiming for the washing basket at the end of the corridor. Not really sure in the difference with chipping indoor balls versus outdoor ones. They look lighter, but at least it gives me something to aim for. Practice can't hurt, can it? Well, that's pretty fun. I've got a fair few in. Good start. I'm enjoying this. Okay, so the day's here. The thing that we've been practicing for the last 2 weeks. Really looking forward to it. Weather is not looking so great. Pretty windy. Gusts of up to 40 miles an hour. It should be dry. We're playing off winter tees, which will help shorter distance. So I just need to remember, keep my drives in play. Nice solid contact with my irons. Get my hips round. And take my time with the short game. Don't rush the putts. Try and get things to stop within a bin lid from the hole and then tap it in. Try not to go for any of the glory shots. So the formats are Stableford. I've got a few shots based off my handicap which will help. So we'll see how the scoring turns out. From just a general scoring perspective, anywhere around 100 I'd be happy with. And then Stableford points, mid to high 30s, I think would be a good round for me. So looking forward to it. I'll report back in at the end, let you know how I've done. Also, I think I must address the elephant in the room, the beard situation. It's November, so I'm doing No Shave November to raise awareness for men's mental health. So for anybody that's struggling with their mental health, make sure that you speak to friends, always check in with others, and just because people seem happy and jolly on the outside doesn't mean that they're always feeling good on the inside. So check in with your mates, check in with your family, and give some men's mental health some attention. Okay, so the competition is done. First one in the books. And I think it went pretty well, to be honest. Had some really good holes, and I also had some bad ones, but that was kind of to be expected. So I scored 31 Stableford points, which is kind of on the low end. It was below the goal that I was hoping for, but all things considered, I'm not that upset. When you take into account the actual scoring, I shot 101, so it was my second best round, actually, which I think is pretty good when you've got the pressure of competing, playing with people I don't know, always adds a little bit of uncertainness. So I'm pretty happy. Things that went well was off the tee with my driver. Just really consistent. I hit some really nice shots, getting a good distance off the drive, and I was in play for majority of my drives. I calculated that I had 8 fairways in regulation, which was above my goal. When I started this, I wanted to hit 6, so smashed that one. Greens in regulation, not as good, but I did hit 5 throughout the course. However, none of them were on par 3s, so it kind of doubles down. The thing that I was struggling with was my irons. I just need to improve that generally, and I'm not sure 2 weeks of block practice was ever going to do anything major for that. So my biggest focus really is that consistency with the irons. And I think that kind of showed even more so. Even with a good drive, I didn't feel like I was in a good position to progress down the course when I was shooting with my irons. I also had an issue with my hybrid towards the end as well. For some reason, I completely forgot how to swing the club. I don't know if it was a bit of fatigue or what, but yeah, generally speaking, I didn't have too many blow-up holes. There was a couple on the par threes where I like triple bogeyed, which just shouldn't happen. And then there's a long par five, which is the 17th, and I always struggle on that hole. And again, I did it this time. I was in play off the tee, but it just took me too many shots then to get towards the green, which really just blew up the score. If I'd even got a bogey or a double bogey on that, I would have been well on track to shoot under 100. So there's definitely something I need to work on there. My chipping was a little bit inconsistent as well. And then finally, my putting was a bit hit and miss. I struggled with the pace of the putts, and I left a lot short, and then in an attempt to like correct myself, I then overhit some, so I was all over the place. Whereas previous weeks when I've played, I've been doing really well to aim for that 3-foot bin lid and then tap in the second shot. But in this round, it just didn't seem to work out that way, and I 3-putted a lot. So yeah, I've got some things I need to focus on, but I've got a lot of positives. I'm really happy that I was able to get out there, out of my comfort zone within less than a year of playing golf and entering some form of competition. And I think it's really helped with my confidence to continue to do more of these and just improve. And I think playing with better players will always help me as well. Seeing how they handle certain situations and just looking at their course management, I think will be a real benefit to my game moving forward. So that wraps up this video. Thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. See you in a bit.